What's going on, good people? Kieron here.
Skool in the building. What's happening?
What's going on, y'all? Ray P here. Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast with the
You.
Three Stooges.
Three Stooges indeed.
That's a fact.
What's going
Oh,
on,
shit.
y'all?
What's happening?
Doing all right, man. I got my shoe cleaner all in the background and shit. Dang. All right.
Hey, man. You was at the
Doing
sneaker
well,
ball,
doing well,
man.
That was weeks ago, motherfuckers. I'm partying now. It's too long. I need to put that back up. How y'all feeling, man? How's everybody doing? Skool, Ray? How y'all feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well.
Who the fuck asked you? Shout out to the pod, man. Shout
out to the pod.
Thank you.
Shout out to School's pod. Who the fuck asked you, man? We if you check the feed, Rachel and myself, we have been recording the past couple of weeks. We told y'all summer hours. Skool has rebranded he told y'all when he was on the DVD collection episode.
Yeah.
He rebranded the Skool's Guilty Pleasures into Who the Fuck Asked You? Cultural debate / just conversational podcast with our dog Rio. They just had an episode about films that they love that you hate, and films that you hate that they love. Which was a good episode, man. Entertaining. Yeah. So we put that up on the feed. Check it out. I know you got. I don't know what your schedule is. They'll figure it out. Just subscribe and you'll see. You'll see the alerts, man. Make sure you get those notifications.
Yeah. The plan is every 2 weeks, and so far it's been going like that. I did just take a vacation, a random vacation. So that's why we was off for the past couple of weeks. It was my fault, ladies and gentlemen. But we back in motion. We got a very special guest this week, or should I say, is dropping this upcoming Monday. Very special guest. He's a great guy, my guy. So
we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. But back, always good to have the trio, the Three Stooges, as Rachel said, back in the building. Yeah. As you know, we appreciate all of you for listening. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Mm-hmm. Speaking of vacation, Skool's been on vacation, as we kind of teased them out earlier. Rachel and myself have been traveling, but it's not been vacation. I was traveling this past weekend. Shout out to my brother Salt for getting married.
Shout out to
in
Salt.
DC. But me traveling meant that I got to spend a little bit of time in Cincinnati, which meant that got to do one of my favorite things, which is go see a movie with Kid Bro.
Yeah.
We went to go see Highs to Lowest. Rachel, I know you went to go see Highs to Lowest. And we figured it'd be a good time just to have a general conversation about the film. Yeah. There will be spoilers involved, explicit content, as you probably already heard. But we just want to have a general conversation, not the traditional format. Just want to give our first thoughts and ask some questions. And I'm sure one day it will be an official episode. But for now, we definitely want to make sure we show us some love. We'll talk about the lack of press. And I want to get y'all thoughts on that, the lack of marketing when it comes to the film. I did read something interesting about the theatrical release, which I'm going to pose the question to y'all when we get to it. It's just about what you think or if it matters. But either way, we're talking about Highs to Lowest, the newly released Spike Lee joint starring Denzel Washington, their fifth collaboration, first in 18 years.
Crazy.
It's kind of wild when you think about it. 19 years, if I'm not mistaken. Inside Man came out in 2006.
That's crazy.
So first collaboration in 19 years. Directed by Spike Lee, as I mentioned. Written by, so it's based off the book called King's Ransom, which is written by Evan Hunter, who used his pen name of Ed McBain. And then it was made into a film by Akira Kurosawa in 1963, a film called High and Low, which if you've seen it, it's actually streaming on Max right now. Similar story. It's a guy's a shoe executive, same kind of outline, wrong kid gets kidnapped, whole nine. So this is a remake. It's funny because you know who had this script originally and was working on writing it?
Scared.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, I'm glad
Chris Rock at one point had this script. I don't know. I can't date it when and tell you exactly when that was, but he definitely had it. And I believe he actually might have finished it, but nobody picked it up or it shifted hands. And Denzel was actually attached to this film before Spike, similar to Malcolm X. I don't know how many people know that. Like Spike Lee, that wasn't like his brainchild where he had been waiting his whole career to make that. They were going to make the movie. Denzel was attached, and he brought Spike on for that. And the same with this one. Once Spike got attached to it, they did some rewrites, and we got the film that we got. Incredible cast, which is an understatement. I don't know if I don't know if I have the right adjectives to describe powerhouses like Denzel and Jeffrey Wright and the whole nine. But we do have Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright. I'm gonna mess up her name. Rachel, do you know it by chance before I butcher it?
Mamie from Godfather of Harlem.
There you go. Elfina Shadera. I'm gonna go with that.
A beautiful lady.
For sure.
Yeah. Well as ASAP Rocky as your principal cast. You have some guest appearances as well. A lot of Spike Lee people that you normally see. But I'm going to start with some opening thoughts. The film is right now showing in select theaters.
Yeah.
So you can probably find it in your city, but not at the big chains. No AMCs, no Regals, no Cinemarks. You're going to your local neighborhood movie stations. Maybe a couple of Regals here and there. But you're going to your local movie theater to check this out. Rachel, what day did you go see it, and what were your thoughts on it? Just general overall thoughts.
I saw it Friday at Regal Stonecrest here in Charlotte. There were only 2 showings. It was one at 2:15 and then another one at 7. So corporately, I'm also on summer hours. So on that Friday, we're off at, you just got to work 4 hours. So I was done by 2. So me and a friend went to go see it. It is definitely a Spike Lee joint.
What you got to say about it?
It is definitely a Spike Lee movie. Honestly, the whole time I sat there, I kept thinking like, maybe this isn't what I thought it was about.
So can I ask you this?
Yeah.
What did you think it was about? Because I've gotten to the point where if you tell me Spike Lee and Denzel, I didn't see one trailer for this. I know a trailer dropped, but I didn't watch it or pay attention because I knew I was going to see it anyway. So what did you think it was about?
And that is what I think happened. So I knew that there was a kidnapping, but that's really kind of all I knew. I didn't do any background research. I knew that it was essentially a remake, but I didn't really know truly anything of it. I didn't know ASAP Rocky was in it until a recent interview with Denzel and Spike, and he was saying that, you know, shout out to Rihanna because he has a good head on his shoulders. Otherwise, I don't think I would have known that. And even that was maybe Thursday, right before I saw the movie anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not quite what I thought it was. Obviously, I like Big Zell in roles where he's not the cookie cutter character or sort of what we've seen. I like him kind of with a bit of an edge sometimes. So there was that, but also I felt like I could have predicted it, but then my predictions were wrong.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
Jeffrey Wright, I thought they could have used him more. I will watch it again. I will see it again once it's on streaming next week, I believe.
September 5th,
yeah, maybe I'll get a better feel for it there because my intention was to go see it again, but time is slipping away from me. So I did not have time to do that. Especially for what it was. But you know what? Shout out to all of these powerhouse actors.
Yeah.
Doing what they do.
100%. I got questions for you, but I want to hear from Skool. Skool, obviously, we did not discuss the film because we knew we would be discussing it here. We saw the film together. What were your thoughts leaving the theater? Leaving the theater. My goodness, can't talk.
I don't know. I'm as it sat with me a little bit. I don't know how to say it. I feel like this is definitely the weakest of the 5.
Let me ask you a question. Why you say that. I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna ask you guys impromptu, just what would you rank? How would you rank your Denzel Spike Labs? However, I knew that it's come out too soon to even include it. I think it would be number 5 for all 3 of us. I think it sounds like I liked it more than both of you, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
But do you think part of that Skool is the newest one out, and maybe that's why you're like it's the weakest? Do you think over time it might grow on you?
No.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And again, a lot of my issues are just story things. It ain't really the acting. The acting from Zell was perfect, you know. Like I don't know, ASAP did his thing. It's just a story shit for me.
Yeah.
And you know, like she said, it's a Spike movie, and that's one of those things that Spike kind of has a thing with some of his movies. Is just like it's a slow burn. So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely a slow burn to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. We'll end this with giving like a letter grade, just from initial watch, right? We don't have to marry it. It's just a letter grade from our first experience. Like we mentioned, like Rachel mentioned, she's gonna watch it again. I'm sure multiple people are gonna watch it a few times before they can form a real opinion. Because I do get that feeling of I'm excited to go to the theater. I'm excited to see a Spike Lee joint. I'm excited to see a Spike Lee joint with Big Zell, with Jeffrey Wright. And I don't care what it's about. Just sign me up and I'm in there. I remember seeing the still shots from the principal photography when they were filming last year. You just hear the buzz out there in New York. I remember the first shot I saw of this was Zell with the Yankee hat on, carrying the backpack. And I'm just like, all right, then bet. Like I said, whatever it is, let me know. And I'm there. I'm going to say something that I hope doesn't sound, I don't know. Tell me if I'm tripping.
Okay.
I think a little bit, and I love him. I'll talk about what I like about it, but a little bit of my issue, and this might be nitpicking. I think I'm at the point of Zell's career where I want to see him just be an older man. I don't need the jet black dyed hair, like flashy suits, big watch. Zell, that's just a personal preference. Put it like this. Here's the best way to put this. If this came out 20 years ago, I think that performance goes even more over the top because he has that kind of thing. He did it well. I love the movie. I love his performance. He did his thing. I just personally, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, man. I kind of like, you can play the same thing, but maybe tone it down just a tad. I don't know. I don't know if that's me just looking at where he is in his career now. Like, I look at Gladiator. Like, so Gladiator, he kind of played a boisterous, energetic, lively character. But he fit the description. I like the gray and just to remind us, like, bro, I got some years on, I got some wisdom, I've seen some things.
Yeah.
I feel like that character has seen some things. I would like to see that. I know that's weird, maybe a weird way of saying it, but
what
do you think about that?
To an extent, I agree. Because nothing about the position required him to look younger, other than pairing him with his leading lady. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But I mean, older men, especially if you consider the music industry, older men are with younger women all the time. So they did not need to go as far with the dye. But for me, honestly, on the flip side, I understood it because here is somebody who is essentially trying to keep up with the times, somebody who's lost a little bit
character thing
of their step.
That's what I was going.
So here I am. Yeah. Let me still look the part, even though I'm not necessarily operating in it. So even if that means I have this dye job that has me looking like myself 20 years ago, or a semblance of myself from 20 years ago, that's the only reason for me. But I do understand that you didn't necessarily need it. He could have just been an elder statesman in the music industry, and it'd been fine, because again, even with his partners, they still look how I assume they look.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that. I agree 110 with Rachel. I think that it has more to do with the character than Denzel himself. I think obviously they didn't give us enough about this character, because there could have been something, that let us know I guess they did in the sense of him, wanting to relive those days. He wants to, buy it back and get back to it. So yeah, of course he's dyeing his hair. He has a 17-year-old son at 60 something, 70 something, however old he's supposed to be.
Well, I'm about to say and that's another thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
As you both said that, I just started thinking, we really don't know how old. We're looking at it as Denzel's age, not that character. How old was that character supposed to be? You get what I'm saying? Like maybe he was in his 50s. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely 50s. If we pair him with he and Jeffrey Wright's character, who were childhood friends, and here he is looking how he's looking, but again, somebody who have been in prison and but very clearly lived a different life. So I don't have, maybe that life has aged him more,
and they also mentioned him walking across the Brooklyn Bridge to go on dates. Like, obviously he was supposed to be a little younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, listening to his music, walking across the bridge, all that type of thing. So
yeah. I know you mentioned that when I think she said when they first started
dating.
Once again, we're not really sure. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't really matter either way.
Yeah.
I think Rachel, you nailed it as far as that's a character trait, because he wants to keep up and going to what you said, Skool. I think we got enough information on him.
Yeah.
It is subtle is better, right? I don't need the whole backdrop on him. I think a lot of the silence, I think the conversations that we saw, there were some shots in this film where you see them outside on the balcony. For example, there was a moment with Paul and David, and they're outside, but you can't hear anything. And you can tell there's a word said, and then Paul walks away because like, this nigga, I ain't. And we're definitely gonna talk about this moral dilemma here in a second. Nigga, I ain't trying to hear you right now. And they use the score and the music, which the music played its own character. New York City played its own character in this, because the book was actually based out of New York City, and then the film wasn't. It's a foreign film. I forget the actual city that it was set in. And then obviously Spike brought it back, and you could tell. And I don't know. I guess it's just my last point on this whole age thing. I feel like him buying back or wanting to buy back the music, I don't know if that was about him trying to relive the old days, or if that was more about, there's a line where he said, man, it's something about seeing your life work summarized to some numbers. And I think as we get older people in general, as they age and hit their golden years, I think they look at their life in a different way.
Yeah,
and start asking what's the point of it all? What's my legacy? When am I leaving? And I think maybe he saw, you know what? Everything I built is going to be washed away by this company is going to buy us out. I don't want that to happen. A lot of the, not just Black art as far as artwork, but just Black art in general was a big theme in this film. Making sure we protect the culture. Don't let the culture vultures come in and put our shit on Viagra commercials and tampon commercials and whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think it was interesting. And to both of your points, very much a Spike Lee joint. Very much a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. Heavy themes.
Yeah. Rachel, music. Music played a central character in this film. Did it work for you? Did it matter? Did you care?
I didn't love it.
Okay.
I didn't love it. It didn't necessarily work for me, only because, and correct me if I'm misremembering, it was more, I don't want to say a classical score, but it wasn't the music I'm anticipating from the music mogul, the best ears in the game. I think that would have made a bit more sense to me, but it just reminded me, even the scoring of a Spike Lee joint, even with the theme song at the end. I'm like, this shit's whack. But so it didn't necessarily work for me.
Skool, what about you?
Damn, Ray, I'm with you on a lot of this. I thought that ending song was trash. I don't think she was a very great singer.
Damn.
Yeah, it was some anyway.
I just giving Clark.
Yeah, for him to have an ear, and not sign that one chick, he tripping.
So the one with the guitar?
Yeah, she was going. But also, I feel that some of the music, he was overusing music in the sense of the James Brown shit. Like when he used both of those, he didn't need those songs. We knew what was gonna happen. We knew that was the big payback. We knew what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, and he still decided to. It's just like, come on, bro. Use the music for those silent scenes. You know, when David and Paul were doing anything. Like, okay, cool, music, perfect. But some shit was just overkill for me.
What about you, Kieron?
I liked it. I enjoyed it because I looked at it immediately as a soundtrack for what was going on. I know it's as someone who's seen a ton of films this year alone. One of the things, and we're going to talk about this, we got another episode dropping of my New York Times 100 list. One of the things I'm learning just about watching all these movies I'm appreciating the quirkiness and just the risk and just being able to say, hey, there's a certain set of rules that we're supposed to follow. Everything's going to go in this box. And you know what? I'm going to step out this box and just do this own thing. I'm not saying the music is so profound and some big thing that Spike invented is not, but to use it, you didn't need it to y'all points, but I appreciate it. Oh, what a beautiful morning, right in the morning, because we get an idea of what this character is. Where is he mentally? What's his space? Everything's good. Everything's happy. And as we go along, I think we get the woman in the lobby, the King David, right? Just kind of showing his position. I'm going in a building that I built. I built this whole place. Got the best ears. I'm going to stop. I'm somebody. Like, all hail King David. This is who I think I am. I think I'm that nigga. There's multiple references in this film where he's like, you know what? I'm not saying I'm God, but you know what I mean? I can give you something. I can provide something. If God asks you to do something, you don't tell God, no, you do it. So I just think that Skool, you mentioned James Brown, big payback. Yes, a little bit too much on the nose, but with him being the music and the best ears, I think that played into his character. And, Spike does stuff like that.
You know what? You guys are right. Because now that you're saying this and I'm playing the movie, there classical music in the scoring?
Yes.
Yes, there was some classical music in the scoring. Yes.
There's a lot of jazz.
But the actual, what I mean is the actual, so the moments where you have soundtrack, just stuff that's playing because it fits that moment in the film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then of course, they played, they had the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which I guess, once again, I think a lot of this was Spike just wanting to, give love to New York. I'm back in NY. I want to let everybody know we back in NY. We're going to highlight everything. I'm going to make sure y'all know Boston sucks. Any chance I can. Like, this is Spike being Spike. Yeah. And that's part of it. You know what I mean? He has the freedom to do that in his films. And sometimes, for being all the way real, depending on what type of movies, it goes back to the point I just made about appreciating people just kind of trying things in films. It's also understanding that, you know what? Not everybody's for everything. Like, not every director's for everyone. There's just some directors that just aren't going to work. Wes Anderson, right? One of Tenenbaums. I saw Phoenicia Scheme this year. The Budapest Hotel. Brilliant filmmaker. Not for everyone.
Yeah.
Not for everyone at all. Like, Rachel will turn that on in 15 minutes. I'm out. What are y'all watching? Yeah. You can't sit here and tell me that this is good. And I understand it. I can understand how you can look at that because they're very quirky. They're very odd. That you can only talk about them with specific people. And Spike, I think, does toe that line sometimes. There are moments where the film might commercially and critically and artistically, and maybe not artistically, but just generally be better received. It might flow like a real movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Part 1, part 2, part 3, but you have these little small things. You have the double takes, right? So Spike is famous for that. They dap and they snap fingers, and you get one snap, and then you get a quick shot to the other one. They should be in unison, but he's showing both angles. You're seeing these different camera angles, and obviously the dolly shot. And I think sometimes he's like, you know what? This is my trademark. I'm gonna make movies like this. And he didn't do it as much in Mo Better Blues, which is why I think Mo Better Blues plays more of a traditional, easy to watch Friday night. Put this on versus, some of the other stuff he's done. But yeah, I rock with the music. And I like the song at the end. I don't know what y'all talking about.
The A$AP Rocky song?
I like that song. That was,
I'm not gonna hold you. I actually do like that song. I put it on
in the car
and everything.
Yeah, I put the
hey, played it on the car as soon as the movie ended. As soon as I got back in the whip, me and Skool turned that on. I gotta find that. I'm talking about Sula. Sula can't sing.
She can't. She I
think that she has a good voice. I just didn't like the song.
It was some shit out of her range. It was a couple of them notes that was out of her range. She could have went a little higher, but I don't think it was in her range. But that's just me. I kind of got an ear too. So shout out to King David, man.
Shut your ass up. Some of the stuff, 2 hours and 13 minutes runtime.
Too long.
You can trim some fat.
Definitely.
I don't think there's any reason this film should have been over 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think an hour 50 is probably the sweet spot. It did start off a little bit slow.
And I think it was.
I'm gonna hold my thoughts. Yeah,
I think it was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was too long, especially for some things that he didn't do that I think he could have done.
What you mean by that?
I don't know where this is. I don't know how you plan on doing this, so I don't really want to. I don't know.
Go ahead. We just have a conversation.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't like the fact that it felt like young felon came out of nowhere. Like I would have liked a little bit of maybe some threatening messages, something to let us know that this was even possible. Like, you know, or maybe that was the point. I don't know.
I'm about to say, I think that might be the point. That's how I took it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I think the point is, I mean, in the title itself, highest to lowest. I think there was a moment where young fella said, like, I'm gonna bring you down to hell with me. I see you up in that penthouse. I see you up in that penthouse in Dumbo. I'm gonna bring you down to hell with me. Like, so whatever I got to do to kind of tug at your heartstrings and make you pay attention, because they didn't say it explicitly, but I'm sure we can just assume that he's been sending tapes to King David to be listened to.
He was in the scene with King David, the King David scene.
You said what?
He was in the King David scene when she sang.
Who was in the King David scene?
Young felon. When
I'm confused on what you mean when you say the King David scene. What scene you talking
about? When the young lady was singing King David. Remember, she ran up on David, and young felon was there as well, and Paul pushed him back or pushed him away, and was like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here!" And you hear ASAP, or excuse me, young felon say something. I can't remember exactly what, but it's just a split. It's a split second.
I must be having a different scene. You talking about when he's walking in the building?
Yes, when he's walking in the building, and
I say Paul wasn't with him in that scene. He had his because Paul. The dude that works for the building walked him in because he's the one that said, "Oh, not you again."
Yes, well, whoever, but they definitely, young felon was in that scene for a second, and whoever was with him pushed him away, and he made a comment like, "Man, fuck y'all" or something of that nature. ASAP has he has a voice that you know when you hear it. So when you rewatch it, you will know.
I saw it twice. I saw it again yesterday. I don't remember it, so I'll double check it when I see it again.
Okay.
But either way, my fault. What was you bringing him up? My fault. What was you going with that? With bringing him up again in that scene. My fault. Did you have?
Oh, I was just saying that I would have liked to have for him to have hated David as much as he did. I just felt like there should have been, maybe a random letter he got a couple days before, something. That even he threw away, like, what the fuck, man? Get the fuck out of here. Something. And then all of a sudden his son's just kidnapped. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. The build up. There was no build up. But I get it from highest to lowest, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's the point, yeah. Like at any moment, because I think you reach a certain point, and a lot of this was probably played out between Paul and David. Like just that whole different class, I guess, is a real big thing when it comes to it.
Yeah.
But I think here's what I think the film was trying to say. Certain people reach a certain status where everything at the bottom just it's not real. They know it exists, but it's not really real to them anymore.
Yeah.
My son being kidnapped is so, like, if I made a list of things that were more likely to happen, like, I'm sure that would have been 90,000 on that list. Right? My son getting, nigga, you know who I am, and I think part of it is you can get touched too. Like, I know where you lay too, all of that stuff. Like, don't get too high to where you don't think that we have an ear out for you, and don't get too high where you forget about the little people. And that was kind of alluded with the conversation with his wife, where, you know, you used to love this, you used to listen to music, you used to get excited. Like, that's the only reason I didn't break up with you, because we was late for everything. But man, looking at your joy in your face and knowing that you're doing what you love, that's enough to light up a room. And when you stop doing that and you start ignoring shit, because as soon as, remember, when he noticed, which I called this out, going to your point, Rachel, there were some things I predicted and there's some things that I thought would happen that I was wrong about. But I told Skool in the movies, I was like, he's going to listen to that Trunk in the Back song that the son Kyle was talking about. That's how he's going to realize. And before he even noticed it, as he's walking on the bridge trying to refine himself, he's jamming. Like, this shit hard. And that's what happens when you lose touch. Like, you would have heard this and you would have avoided all this, ironically, had you stayed in touch, had you been involved with what's going on today, instead of trying to be 2004 and whatnot. So yeah, it was just a very unique character. And as far as like just trying to make sure you stay true to yourself while also elevating. But let's talk about this moral dilemma that he's dealt with, because I think obviously, at least for me, that's the most fascinating concept in this entire film.
Yes.
Yeah, you like the suspense, you like the cat and mouse, but you like my favorite section was nigga, am I paying this $17,500 for another nigga kid?
But
is it really another nigga? It ain't really another nigga.
But so here's the thing. I'm with y'all. I don't think it's a question. I don't think there's a hesitation. But I will say this. Sometimes we think about hypotheticals, and you're looking at it from your character and who you are as a person. So if somebody tells you, hey, Rachel's kid, which Rachel is not a kid, Rachel's kid is held for ransom, needs $17,500. I got $17,500. Are you gonna pay it? Absolutely, no question about it. What this film did a great job was in that like top of the second act. Now I'm looking at a nigga who does have $17,500 and is really in the situation. You never once, if that question's ever been posed to me, not once do I stop and think no. Not once do I hesitate. This film actually made me hesitate and look at it from somebody who actually has the money. Like, hold on. Like, nigga, you say you're going to get $17,500, but $17,500 is a lot of money, especially when a kidnapper made a mistake. Nigga, and he really was contemplating not doing it. So, yes, the moral thing is to pay it. But seeing him wrestle with that decision, I thought was very fascinating, because we all should have been like, you a dickhead. And I was sitting there like, you know what? That nigga told the cop, keep negotiating. Nigga, I ain't ready to get $17,500.
I think, hey, that shit was hilarious. He ain't even said word, nothing, nada.
He didn't say shit.
I think the great thing that Spike did too with that was letting you know that all he had was about 20 mil. It would have been different if this is 2006.
Exactly that.
The 17.5, give it to him. We got that. But all we had was about 20. So that 17.5 meant the world to him. Like I'm over here doing all types of shit that nobody know about, and I'm supposed to be that nigga, and I'm making moves that I don't want nobody to know about. You feel me? And now this motherfucker asking me for 17.5, and all I got is 20.
I feel that. You're right. And that's to your point, Skool, that's the beautiful thing. Because it shouldn't matter how much money you got in the bank. I got the 17.5. It's about dealing with that blood on your hands. Like, when he told him, shout out to my brother Muzone.
Brother Muzone.
What was his name in the movie? Scott, I can't remember. But he came to the lobby and was like, you know how everybody doing? No, I don't think his name. Gabe was Wendell Pierce. Shout out to Bump.
Okay, yep.
Two wire lumps in this film, by the way. But when he told him, man, like, what if I don't pay? What you mean you ain't gonna pay? Like, the record label done, it's over. You cancel. Like, and he was like, man, listen, the news, the way it go now, next week they on to something else. He dead ass meant that. Because, bro, I'm not about to give my life savings away. But all right, let me ask y'all this. Would this have been big of a deal? Because I'm sure he still would have thought about it. But had he not tried to get that deal and have that deal in place to get his record company back, had he not already made a move to secure funds to pay for Why can't I think of the record company name?
Stacking
Hits.
Yep.
If it was just like, hey, this is a random Wednesday, I don't got no business dealings, we good. I don't know if he hesitates as much. I think part of it was the business part of his business end of it as well.
I mean, yes, but also he still only had that 20 because they would have found it for his son. No questions asked. I'm finding it.
Yeah, but is he wrong? Is he all right? Would he have been wrong had he not paid it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're my best friend. This is my best friend's child. I'm your godfather, the person who's taking care of you, because we don't know where the mama at. Maybe she's in glory. We don't know.
Who? His mama?
Yeah.
The son? Yeah, his wife had passed.
His wife had passed.
Yeah, she passed. Yes.
So, and he was in jail. So I will only assume that as the godfather, you raised him for a good bit of his life.
Yes.
Your boy got out of jail and he works for you. Yeah. What you mean?
Yep.
You don't really have it for my son, who has essentially been raised as your son's brother. They are god brothers, but you've lived this life. Y'all have done everything together to the point of sharing clothes, which is how we got in this predicament.
And I also think that it's very telling that a mother was with it. Like, because essentially when you think about it, she probably raised Kyle more than David did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's not a scene in this movie where she says to David, like, slaps him in his face and says, yo, that's your godson, nigga. Like, she laid in the bed with him and say, what have about 1 point left?
Because that's the whole point, because they're looking at it once again. Yes, everybody in a heartbeat is going to sound paying that ransom. But to look at two people, have to really determine,
wrestle with
what does our future look like? Can we even afford to live here anymore? What about everything else that we own? How much are we going to have to sell? What are we left with? Like, what does that look like moving forward? Your company doesn't. You already sold your stock, or not your stock, but your piece of the company. What else do we have that's making money? Like, do we have anything in the stock market that's booming? Where are we drawing from? Where's our source of income? Nigga, you're not really working no more. You want to start this little boutique shop. Like, all of those things, I think, are real questions. And when that's the one thing that people say. It's not about getting rich, it's staying rich. Because once you change your lifestyle, that's when all the other shit happens. Because it's hard to maintain that year in, year out. That's why most people say, if you get $5 million, nigga, you need to be living like you living now.
Yeah.
And you'll be good forever.
Yeah.
If you want to go get the $4-point-something million house and all this other stuff, that shit got a lot of stuff going on with it.
Yeah.
And I think she probably looked at it from that perspective. Like, listen, I'm not saying, I think everybody agreed in a perfect scenario, even to what you said, Skool. This 2005 and we rolling in it. That nigga, give him some extra.
Yeah.
Nigga, get that nigga 24. Give him 24 million. You know what I'm saying? Just as a fucker. But nigga, we down to 20? We down to our nigga, this Aruba money.
Right.
Shout out to Jelly Roll Entertainment. I appreciate it looking at it from that perspective. Because it's like, damn, y'all ain't shit, but I understand it. I understand at least thinking about it.
Yeah.
And his son was the one. But once again, I'm gonna pose the question. Social media is a theme in this film.
Yep.
Followers, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Where you lead them to if you got followers. When his son, which I really enjoyed that scene when he went in his room and he told that nigga there's only one man in his house. So you look at it. But when he walked in that room, his son was looking at articles talking about he got his best friend set up and lined up. It kind of makes you question, and you mentioned this earlier, Skool. I think this is probably the brilliance of not having a ton of background in these characters. I don't know well enough to know how genuinely, I can assume that he genuinely loves him like a brother, and Kyle's his guy.
Yeah.
But how much of that decision is centered around, I don't want to be looked at as the nigga that got my best friend killed when I had nothing to do with it. I don't want that public pressure versus me actually just wanting him home.
Yeah.
It's definitely a factor.
Yeah, it's got to be in today's age, and that's the dilemma. And Rachel and myself, we talk about all the time. I hate social media. I really don't like being on there like that because it's just more fun when you're out living your life. But it is a necessary evil. It comes with the bullshit. And I think David told Sula at the end, can you deal with the memes? Can you deal with it? Because that's part of it now. Go ahead, Skool.
And what I was gonna say is one thing that again, I know me and you talk about it a lot, Rich, is like the internet lives forever. Things live forever. So, David made the point of, well, next week they might not. Yeah, next week. But every anniversary of this shit,
it's coming back.
It's coming back, especially on Black Twitter. They're going to bring it up. You niggas is going to get killed. Like, so that's one of those things that I'm sure that his son was worried about. Like, every fucking year they're gonna bring this shit up. They're gonna say I set them up. You know what I mean? My career gonna be over because now even high school football, basketball, that's social media based. Like if social media ain't jumping or you ruin their social media to an extent, shit, you will not be starting this year. I don't give a fuck how good you are. So yeah, that shit definitely plays a factor. We need this nigga home, and I need to clear my name.
What do we think about A$AP Rocky?
I wasn't mad at his performance. I'm not gonna hold you. It may be a New York nigga playing a New York nigga is not much of a reach, but I was not mad at all. I thought he did well.
Yeah, I've been saying since Dope, he should definitely be in more shit.
I forgot he was in Dope.
Yeah, he should be in more shit for sure.
Yeah, definitely in Dope. I think he got another movie coming out this year. But yeah, if you're gonna play yourself, to play a New York nigga, I think that's the perfect way to do it. Yeah, and I believed him. I believed him as a angry young New York nigga that had this nigga that he looked up to his entire life that's playing him. Already as the rollout for this film started, they talked about they did the side by side kid pictures of Denzel and Rakim. And all that kind of stuff. Just saying, like, hey, they do kind of favor each other, and I love the moment where nigga, say you my dad. I could be.
When he called that nigga twin.
Yeah, that shit was definitely not in the script. But I liked A$AP. If you're familiar with A$AP Rocky at all, he's got confidence for a million people.
Yes.
So I love the fact you need that when you were going. I don't even know if he knew he was acting in probably my favorite scene in the film.
The studio scene? Oh, for sure. My favorite scene. For sure.
So to not be a trained actor, to not even have a lot of roles under your belt, and just kind of get that locked in and have that chemistry, I thought it was phenomenal. You said it was your favorite scene, Rachel.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how much Big Zell is into mentoring at this current juncture, but I would think that this would be, we built this relationship. I have somebody I can call on for life, low key. And not just because Rocky gave a good performance, but even Denzel's high praise for him, just kind of like as a man outside of that. And I have my thoughts on him, but that's what's up. I should have put on some red lipstick.
Oh man.
But I'm not mad at that. And if that does become that sort of mentorship relationship, I hope that it works out, because I would actually like to see him in other roles, just like Samuel L. Jackson became David Banner's acting coach. I think that could be something. That'd be awesome. Rocky. And who wouldn't want to get mentored by Big Zell?
Crazy.
Everybody, opportunity of a lifetime. What was it particularly, would you say, Rachel, about that scene that made it your favorite? What stood out to you in general?
Honestly, love a studio. But the way that they played off each other, again, even leading up to that, we had seen Rocky, but we hadn't, or Young Felon, but we didn't really see him, and we didn't really know him. So here we are after hearing sort of the sob story from his girlfriend, and actually seeing David, dare I say, on his level, and also be intrigued by what he was doing, because to your earlier point, he did like the song when he actually heard it. And so here you are, you know, I'm a voice person. So there is something about your voice. There's something about your cadence and delivery that I'm fucking with. This is how you could do it. This is how you can make it better. These tweaks are necessary. And I just thought that was really, really powerful, especially in knowing, we talk about how much he hated him, but really, you know, it's a thin line between love and hate.
Come on.
He loved this man. He named his son for this man. He loved him so much. And so here we are in dire circumstances, less than ideal. Not how I pictured this moment going, but here we are. And then there's something about just the grit of it in dirty ass New York.
I'm with you. That's
cool. Was that your favorite scene as well, you say?
Yes, definitely. My favorite scene, and I agree with everything you said, Ray P. But my favorite thing about this scene, besides everything you said, was essentially it didn't do that movie thing. It didn't take that turn where, you know, he gets signed by Zell and everything's peachy, and you know what I mean? Like, I was hoping and praying in that theater, like, bro, please don't do that dumb shit.
Please
like,
pay us out.
Yes. So that's what ultimately gave it the stamp for me at the end of that one. Was like, okay, yeah, I fucks with it.
Yeah, I would have been highly upset.
Even though this nigga was in the theater predicting shit.
Yeah, I was predicting shit. Even though I was wrong about a couple things. I thought the cop. I definitely thought that.
Me too.
White cop was dirty or in on it or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's just a general Spike Lee character. You know, you're gonna have that character in the Spike Lee joint. I don't know if this makes any sense. And real quick, that scene was also, like I said, it was my favorite. I think we forget how much of a, I guess, method actor that Big Zell can be. Because when the filming was going on, and I'm seeing A$AP Rocky doing interviews talking about, hey man, like Denzel was coming up to the set. He was pulling up to set, bumping not Yo Gotti, but Moneybagg Yo and Pooh Shiesty, and rapping these lyrics word for word. And I'm thinking, as I watch that scene and I see him giving bars and looking like, hey, he looked like an actual exec who had years and years and years of history to draw back on. I'm like, yo, he was probably doing that on the real, just on some, I'm getting into this character. I'm really diving into what it's like to be like this.
And y'all know he from around the way.
Come on. He always tell you that.
He told him A$AP, man, you think you leaving with you what, 17.5 to be precise. You think you leaving with it?
Hey.
Yeah, you think you leaving with it? Nigga, you got me fucked up. Nigga, you ain't hard to find. I like shit talking, charisma, charm. That rare ability. This is a conversation for another day, because I don't even know how many actors can go on this list to where you want to be them, you're cheering for them, you're defending them, you can be scared of them, you're captivated by them, you're charmed by them. Like, he has every single trait rolled into one. And I think that's why, as I talked earlier about the whole 17.5 million things, like, that's a disgusting thing to even hesitate about. That's disgusting, right? Like, we all can agree. Something about the way he plays that character was like, oh, okay, I can see the moral dilemma. Like, nah, nigga, that's disgusting. But just seeing him go through it, seeing, hey, everybody look on top of the table. Nobody look under the table. Like, you don't know what the fuck I got going on in my life. And you've never had to ask for shit. You said it out your own mouth. Like, I've always taken care of you, bro. Give me a few minutes to make sure I can put my ducks in a row about this. Yes, you don't want to tell your best friend that. I couldn't imagine having 17. It's one thing if you got to get it together. That's a whole nother conversation. But I couldn't imagine having a 17.5 and my nigga saying, hey, man, I need this to save my daughter or whoever the case is. And I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to get this boat.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's probably my second favorite scene, is when Paul just ultimately, you know, tucks his tail and comes in there to Dave and just keep it real. Like, I need, like, I can, let me borrow that. I can give it back. Dave just, how? Nigga, you ain't never, you can't even count to 17.5, nigga. Fuck wrong with you?
Forget the million. He said, forget the million. You can't count to 17.5.
Hey, Zell different, bro. And you need that. I think you can't have a movie of this caliber with this caliber of talent and not put Zell and Jeffrey in the same scene, bro. It's just
I would have loved more of it and more. And I understand Paul's character being, fresh out, rough around the edges, but I just would have loved more of their dynamic in this scene, something like that, and just more of of the friendship, because we gotta be tight for me to keep your son, raise you, and give you a job thereafter.
Well, not only that, it left a point in the movie, at least for me, where I didn't know if Paul was in on it, especially when you didn't know that Kyle was kidnapped for a second. I know the police thought it, but even I thought it. Like, hold on, Paul might be involved in this shit. You know?
Yeah. When he sent that text message at the hospital, because it was very quick.
Yep.
So it just looked like some shady shit. Then you quickly realize, like, I'm trying to get information on this nigga. Just to show Paul I'm still connected. Like, you highest, I'm lowest. I'm still in these streets. I still have access, bro. You wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
To look for a nigga like Young Felon.
Young Felon.
I got his address. I ain't get his building.
Nope.
I ain't get his neighborhood, nigga. I got the exact door where he lay his head. That's how connected I am to these streets, on top of taking care of you. And it shows some loyalty, because he said it. People come up to me all the time trying to get at you, and I don't even go there with them.
For sure.
So Paul's definitely 1-of-1. I could have used more. I think we saw Denzel was in damn near every scene. I could have used Paul in every scene too. I would have loved it, because I've spoken ad nauseum about how much I love Jeffrey Wright and his character, or excuse me, his acting ability and everything else. So I don't know if I have anything else off the top of my head that I really want to touch on. I will say, as someone who saw it twice, there are things that I kind of picked up on. It is a fun watch. It's slow at the beginning.
Yeah.
I want to highlight the last 20-25 minutes of it, because they're phenomenal. I think the original film, the one in 1963, it has more suspense in this. Obviously, technology is different. The way you go about things are different. But this film just has the power of these actors and these characters and bringing them to life. And yes, there's going to be some Spike Lee characteristics in the film. Yes, there's going to be some questionable, cheesy lines, Preparation H and all that. Like, all right, cool, I get it all, nigga. But it worked for me, because that's how old cool niggas think they talk. Like, that's how they still stuck in that. They're still stuck in that world. But if you love film, if you love Spike Lee, hold on, time out. Got to give a shout out to the art.
For sure.
Got to give a shout out to the art.
Beautiful art,
which apparently came from Spike Lee's personal collection.
Okay.
All of that was in his personal collection. I know he had a display in 2023 at a museum in New York, where he kind of put all his art on display, and he did the same in this film. Black artist, obviously, and that penthouse,
crazy,
laid out, man.
Crazy,
laid out. Basquiat's,
got the Basquiat.
Yeah, everything you can imagine was in there. A lot of sports memorabilia. So as a sports fan, I can appreciate that. There was one in David's office that he had Brooklyn 2, Yanks 1, just like an old scoreboard from back in the day. I just loved it. I loved every bit of it. I can see a lot of that art hanging up in the crib. I'm sure a lot of you all would love to have it as well. But I don't know if I have any other thoughts other than see it again. Like, wait, come back on streaming, watch it again, see where it holds up to everything else. Obviously, it's number 5, but I think Malcolm X is their best movie. But what's your favorite? Because Malcolm X ain't a Friday night pop this in.
For me, it's between Inside Man and Mo Better Blues.
For me, it's between Inside Man and Malcolm X. I fucks with Malcolm X heavy.
Yeah, I fuck with Malcolm X for sure. I just, like I said, but that goes to the brilliance. I'm at the point now where if I'm watching a movie that's over 3 hours, you better be Malcolm X territory, Godfather Part 1, Part 2 territory.
Titanic.
Like, nah, that's not up there for me. That's not up there for me. But that's another story for another day. With that being said,
hold on. I got one thing though, because I was gonna say this in the car on the way back. Now, with all that shit that Young Felon did and all those motherfuckers he had involved, how he still got 17.5? What you think he paid them niggas?
Well, we don't know the final count, and I don't even know if they had enough time to get it paid out yet. Usually, and not that I have experience, just from watching shit, a lot of time when big heists and ransom drops are done like that, there's usually a meeting point, even in Focus, right? You have films like Focus. Yeah, you do the job, and we're going to send y'all bread once we count up the pie. Goodfellas, right? We did the job. We finally got it. That's a perfect reason as to why you don't do that shit. Because that nigga told him, no, everybody stay low. Don't spend nothing. You pulling up with minks and pink cars. We hot right now.
Yeah.
So I think normally let's let some time pass by. Obviously, I think Young Felon's a stand-up dude. I don't think anybody worried about him running off with it. And we'll split this up later on.
I think
that's my thought. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think you're giving Young Felon too much credit. He gave that.
Yeah, Young Felon is a stand-up guy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He gave that.
Cartier bracelet.
He gave that Cartier bracelet ASAP.
Yeah, of course, because that's for her. That was for her. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just
asking. They know where he lived the same way they did.
And to get it in Frank's, like I know it. Man, listen. I guess New York.
That's another part, right? I'm gonna transfer this over to get what I need to get, or whatever the case is. Listen. This is my 2 cents. Yes, he's not a stand-up guy. All right, that was just.
But that's also bringing attention to yourself. You feel me? Like all the FBI or whatever got to do is who's came in here and changed Franks in large amounts in the past 6 months.
I don't think he's gonna. That's the whole point, though. Like I don't. He just wanted the bread. I think if you think far enough, here's my thoughts. I don't think there's anything about Young Fella that says stupid, other than putting that money under the bed.
Yeah.
Right. He was very precise, even to the point where we hit an emergency break and having all these people having an elaborate plan, backup backpacks, all that shit. Like he's not dumb. I had to drop on y'all. I know how to find you. I know how to get in touch with you. I know how to get your phone number, the whole 9. I was smart enough to ask for this in this currency. I think he probably had a game plan on how he was going to switch it out. I don't think he just wanted that money just to look at the Swiss bills. I'm sure he had something planned out. Obviously, we don't know. This is all just me thinking, but if you ask for a Skool, you yourself, I'm asking you right now, if you ask specifically for a different currency, I like to assume that you know how you're going to move it and flip it once you got it, right? Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't ask for it. Your ass would ask for $1 billion US dollars.
Yeah.
Take it to the airport, cash exchange.
Yeah, I'm sure he had that part mapped out. It's new, and another thing that we got to play into this, it's New York City.
That's
you
what
can
I
find
said.
Anybody who does anything in New York.
Yep.
So it probably is much easier for a nigga like him than us in Ohio thinking about how I don't know a nigga that can get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I know 10 of them niggas in my building right now that can swap this bread.
Sure.
So that's my thoughts.
All right, I got you. Well,
all right, we got anything else?
It is.
Nope.
All right, September 5th, Apple TV. Please run those numbers up. All right, if you can't go to the theater, please go. All right, check your local listings. It's probably in a theater near you, maybe one you've never been to before, but it should be near you. Limited show times. Oh, last thing I promise y'all, and then we out. I read this, and I didn't really do too much confirming, but apparently there's a few things you have to do to get nominated for an Oscar. And one of them is the film has to have at least 1 week theatrical release. So when this deal was made, the deal was made specifically for streaming. They went into it knowing this film is going to come out on Apple TV. Spike negotiated his own deal to have it released in theaters for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So as we talk about, like, there's no marketing, I think what they're doing, and I don't think it matters, I think you still should market a movie that has your name on it, because if we look at all the other Apple TV movies, but I can even say this low-key, F1 is the other big movie that Apple TV has released this year. I don't know how much Apple themselves did to push that, but it also was made for the theaters.
Yeah.
And that's usually what Apple shit does. It's made for theaters, and we're going to bring it to streaming at this point. I think this one was for streaming, and we're going to have a small limited release in these theaters. And I think that's part of the reason Apple was like, listen, we ain't got nothing to do with your deal with the theaters.
Yeah.
Nigga, once it comes to streaming, we're going to push the shit out of this. We're going to highlight it. I'm not cutting Apple any type of bill. I think they still should be promoting something with their name on it, especially a Spike Lee and Denzel joint. It is disgusting that we don't get a wide release for this.
Yeah.
But I found that very interesting when I read it. I'm like, okay, then that means that I don't know what category or what he's really putting it up for, but he wanted to make sure this could be considered for the Oscars.
I would say definitely cinematography. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful.
For sure. Probably something with music.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see no Oscar nominations for nobody. I mean, the acting was great, but
you mean acting noms?
Yeah, whatever. I don't see it.
Yeah, I can see that. So yeah, just wanted to point that out too, as far as like the lack of. I don't know if that's the case, right? This is what I read. I thought it was interesting. It tracks, so we'll see what happens with it. But September 5th, Apple TV Plus on streaming. Make sure y'all check this out. Run those numbers up. Like I said, if you can see it in theaters, please do. With that being said, I think that's it. I think that is it. Skool, got anything else?
Letter grade.
Oh yeah. What you giving it?
Damn. I'm gonna give it a C+.
Rachel?
B-.
I'm giving it a B. Solid B. Definitely not the worst thing I've seen this year. Not the best thing I've seen this year, but very enjoyable, and I definitely will be watching it. This is going to fall in my rotation. I just see it.
Okay.
How long? I don't know, but it will fall in my rotation. Once it comes to streaming, I'll watch this a few times, and then we'll see when I revisit it. But it also makes me want to watch more Spike and Denzel. So shout out to film, man. Shout out to movies.
For sure.
Always.
With that being said, we'll catch y'all next time. Don't forget, we are continuing my New York Times Top 100 list every other week, and then we'll have episodes in between. Who the fuck to ask you? Make sure you subscribe to Skool's Pod.
Yes.
We got y'all. Y'all already know that. Got some shows coming up in September. You'll want to be tuned in. Please make sure you are subscribed to the feed. Will y'all be cool? How y'all be cool?
Peace.
Bye, guys.